Hi there everyone, welcome to Fingers, Thumbs and Fits, where today we are going to be playing another round 1 contest in the contest Aethyrmatika. And today we see the Knives of the Crone up against the Headsmen's Curse. Now as always, I've done the setup, I've dealt the cards, we've put down the treasure tokens, we've deployed the models. So all we need to do now is roll to see who goes first. However, before we do that, each warband has an ability that happens at the start of the first action step in each battle round. So we're going to do those first. So the Knives of the Crone first, they roll on a prophecy table. Roll 4 action dice to see what happens. And we're looking for double marks, but crits don't actually do anything. Hang on. I'm lying. If the roll contains 3 of the same symbol, you can pick 1 prophecy from the prophecy table. We are going to use Foretold Slaughter, which basically means that all of my melee attacks have Grievous. Well, have critical Grievous, rather. But also, if the roll contains any crits, you can replace each crit with another symbol. So I could replace that. No, I can't. Okay, right. No, that's fine. That still plays out as it is. I do apologise for that. I was getting a bit confused with how it was written out, so please excuse me. Now, the Headsmen's Curse, they have something called Trial and Execution. At the start of the first action in each battle round, you can pick an enemy fighter within 5 hexes of a friendly scripter of the sentence, which is this ghosty right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to condemn Tazari. Basically, if we slay Tazari, we draw some power cards equal to the bounty, which is 2 for Tazari. But also, if I inflict damage on them after an action step, I can inspire that friendly fighter. So, that's that taken care of. We can now roll off to see who goes first. So, Knives and the Headsmen's Curse. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so the Headsmen's Curse gets it, so they get to go first. Oh, before we begin, actually, the Knives, we're using 2 non-standard rival decks here. The Knives of the Crone are using the Mastery deck Rack and Ruin, and the Headsmen's Curse are using the Strike deck Reckless Fury. So we'll see how this plays out. Anyways, like I was saying, let's get on to the match. So the Headsmen's Curse gets to go first. And I think we are actually... What's the scripter like? He has a ranged attack, but it doesn't mean to say he can't use it in melee. So, he is going to try and do said damage on Tazari. So they all, well, all of the models on the board move 4, so that's nice and simple to remember. 2, 3. He rolls 3 attack dice and he needs swords. And he doesn't get them. So this round there will be no damage unless he decides to act again. Oh no, he charged, so he can't. Right, so power phase. Let's have a look at these cards. Again, I've drawn the cards, I just haven't had a look at them yet. So that could be useful, but I'm not going to use it. Okay, right, fine. On to the Knives of the Crone. And Yeah, okie dokie. So Tazari is going to reply in kind, I think. And he's going to attack the scripter of the sentence. These have got some interesting names, these ghosties. So Tazari attacks close up with 2 dice needing hammers. He gets 1. Now the prophecy, I can roll a prophecy roll again if I get a successful attack. So scripter of the sentence rolls 1 dice needing dodges. He doesn't get it, so he takes 2 damage. So that's a successful attack, so I get to roll on the prophecy table again. And if I roll something called Foretold Wisdom, which requires 2 hammers, I can inspire Tazari. I do get 2 hammers, so Foretold Wisdom, look at the top card of your objective deck. Put that card on the top or the bottom. Okay. Well, it's Flee. Pick a friendly fighter in friendly territory. That fighter has +3 move. Okay, well that's going to stay on the top, I think. And Tazari is now inspired. What does that do for him? That just basically makes his attack, be it up close or at range, 2 damage. He also now rolls 2 dice to save. Okay, so Tazari has acted. So we're now going to go back to, oh hang on, Power Step. Again, mostly upgrades, but we do have a ploy. Can we use this? We can, and I could have used it just now, but I'm not. I will do it another time. Okay, so we are now going to go back to the Headman's Curse. Oops, the flicking counters all over the place. I do apologise. Now, Wielder of the Blade. Right, there's a War Scroll ability that allows him to modify his attacks if he's next to that little ghosty. That's the Wielder of the Blade. That's the Sharpener of the Blade. If those two are adjacent when the leader attacks, then he can get grievous. But we're not attacking with him right now. So, what are we going to do with these guys? The Bearer of the Block, I think, is going to move. But I think he's only going to move... Oh, hang on, we needed to flip these treasure tokens over. Apologies. I wouldn't have gone for the treasure tokens in that first round anyway, so that's irrelevant. But even so, we're going to move on to this treasure token. I don't know whether or not we can get objectives for treasure tokens. Right, okay. So he gets a move token. I think Creator is going to try to attack. They're probably going to, you know, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she can come round the back here. I think they're all female except Asphalt, who's the guy with the crossbow. So I'm going to refer to them as her. So yeah, Creator is going to come down and attack the scripter of the sentence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she can get around this side. As you can see, I've even though I've kept it separate due to painting, I've attached her sort of winged cloak thing with a little bit of sticky tack just for this match, well, for the matches, so that she kind of looks complete, because she does look cool with that cloak on. Anyways, she gets a charge token, and she is going to attack the scripter. So she gets 4 dice. Wow. Needing swords, she only does 1 damage. And she rolls 4 hammers. Wow. What are the odds? Okay, so she kind of tripped over her cloak a little bit there, I think. We're not using any power cards because we can't. So back to our ghosties. Okay. We're probably going to have a bit of a leader showdown, I think. So the wielder of the blade is actually going to not move up to engage Aethyrmatika because he can't make it. But he can move on to that treasure token in front of her. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah. Not going to use the power step. It is now the knives' turn. So yeah, Aethyrmatika is going to charge in 1, 2 and try to attack the wielder of the blade. She gets 2 attacks needing hammers, or 2 dice needing hammers rather. She gets 1, and the wielder of the blade gets 2 dice to dodge. And he doesn't make it, so he takes 2 damage as well. He's got 5 wounds. The scripter of the sentence has 4 wounds. The bearer of the block has 4 wounds, but the sharpener of the blade, this little fella, only has 2. Whereas everybody for the knives has 4, except for Asfel, who has 3. So, the sharpener of the blade is actually going to move. He is going to move up next to the wielder of the blade. Is he going to get into combat though? I mean, he might as well. 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, he's going to try to attack Aethyrmatika. He gets 2 dice needing hammers. Oh, no, she does count as being flanked, so that counts. She gets 2 dice needing dodges. All of the knives need dodges. She gets a crit, which counts. So that's a draw by getting icons that neither of them actually properly needed. But anyway, yes. So now Asfel is going to shoot the scripter of the sentence. He's got a range of 3, so 1, 2, 3. And he gets 3 dice and it does 1 damage. He needs swords. He gets 2 crits plus a flank because, well, he's technically surrounded. But the scripter of the sentence gets 1 dice to save. I mean, he's taking damage anyway. He didn't get the dodge. He's taking 1 damage. So he's only got 1 wound left. And that's the end of round 1. So, end phase. Do we have any objectives? Let me just have a look at this one quickly. No. I don't know why I wanted to re-look at that one. Okay. So, there's no objectives for the Headsmen's Curse. And there's no objectives for the knives. So, okay, we are going to discard cards. Basically, we're going to discard all of the upgrades. So that's all of them for the knives. We're going to take 4. That's 2, 3, 4. We've got 2 poison, 2 upgrades. And we're going to do the same with the Headsman's Curse. Discard all 4 upgrades and take 4 more cards. And we just got another 4 upgrades. Great. Okay, cool. So, let's do our... Oh, I just realised something. The Kenavix needed to roll on the table for her successful attack. Foretold Protection is this one, which next time you make a save roll this battle round, you can immediately re-roll 1 save dice, which is pretty cool. But we've got 2 crits as well, so I'm going to change these both to hammers for Foretold Wisdom. We're going to look at the top card again, which is Barge, which is a replacement core ability, but it's also an upgrade, so that's going to the bottom of the deck. But because Foretold Wisdom was rolled as a result of the attack, Kenavix is inspired. So, start of round 2, we're going to do the prophecy table for the knives. Whoops. And they get Foretold Wisdom again, so we can look at the top card again, which is Wary Tread. You can use this ability after the last power step in a battle round to push this fighter 1 hex. Yeah, we could put that on the top, I think. It's not going to help us this turn, but it's not going to help us next turn either. But actually, no, yeah, that's not going to help us, so that's going to go at the bottom. Right, and for Trials and Execution, Asfel, no, not Asfel, Tazari is going to be condemned again. No, he's not. Krieta is now going to be condemned because she's a little bit easier to take down now that Tazari is inspired. So, let's see who goes first. Knives, Curse. Yep, the knives are going first. And Tazari is going to try and take out the scripter of the sentence so that he can't condemn people anymore. I mean, the condemnation still stands, but it won't happen next time. So, Tazari, needing hammers, gets 1. Actually gets 2 because it counts as being flanked because Krieta's there. And the scripter needs a dodge, which he doesn't get. So, it's 2 damage. The scripter is taken out. And the Knives of the Crone get 1 bounty. So, first blood to the Knives of the Crone. Okay, so now the Bearer of the Block is going to try and take a swing at Krieta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Charge token. Okay, so he gets 2 dice needing hammers. And he doesn't get them. Wow, they're not doing so well attacking the condemned. So, power, was there anything they could do with a power step? No, they've still got the same card as they did have. Okay, so it's the Knives of the Crone. And I think Vix is going to try and take a swing at the wielder of the blade. No, she's going to take a swing at the sharpener of the blade to stop any potential grievous attacks coming towards her. So she gets 3 dice now that she's inspired, needing hammers still, even though she's armed with a dagger. She gets 1. And the sharpener of the blade gets 2 dice to dodge, I guess because he's just a ickle wispy ghosty. Yeah, needing dodges. Well, we've got a crit there, so that works. Negates the damage. So, I think then well, they are going to play a power card. In fact, actually, they're going to play Flee, which is what I had on the top of the deck, or I kept on the top of the deck. Basically, a character gets +3 movement in the next action step. So, yeah. And I know exactly who it's going to be. Right, anyways, the wielder of the blade is going to take a swing at Vix, but he's going to use the Wet the Blade ability, which is a War Scroll Surge ability, which means I can use it anytime. Basically, yeah, we're adjacent to the sharpener of the blade, so the wielder of the blade's attack gets grievous, which means it does +1 damage. So it has the ability. The wielder of the blades could potentially take out Vix in 1 hit, if it hits her and is successful. So 2 dice needing hammers. She is flanked. She gets 2 dice to dodge, needing dodges. She does not get them. So he does in fact do 3 damage +1 for grievous, which is 4 damage. So the wielder of the blade has taken out Vix in 1 hit. Okay, he was using a special ability, but still in 1 hit. So they get 2 bounty for that. That is mad that he can do 4 damage in 1 hit. I just need to have a quick slurp of a drink after that, I think. Right, wow. That was quite an attack. So back to the Knives of the Crone. Well, that's kind of hampered their plan a little bit, but they can still do what they were going to. It's Tazari that's going to get +3 movement, and he's going to try to attack the wielder of the blade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He essentially moves 7 for this turn. Oh, hang on. Oh no, if the fighter moves in that action step, that move cannot end in friendly territory. Okay, I thought it can end in enemy territory, but yes, cannot end in friendly territory, which is here. So yes, that was a legal move. He's charged the wielder of the blade. He's going to try and stab it in the back. 2 dice needing hammers. He gets a crit. 2 dice needing dodges. Saves because Tazari counts as being flanked. Oh, I could have moved him up 1 more to stop that. But anyway, I do get a crit though, which means I can push him away. Which is... Oh no, I can't. That was a... no, I'd say it's a follow-up, isn't it? So I could move to there. Actually. Okay. Right, well, seeing as how the wielder of the blade hasn't moved, he's just going to spin round and swing his sword in a massive arc. He can't use that ability anymore, but he still can do significant damage to Tazari for trying to stab him in the back. So the wielder of the blade is going to attack. 2 dice, needing hammers. Does not get any of them. And I just realised that I could have re-rolled saves for Vix, but she would have still taken damage. I could have only re-rolled 1 dice, so she would have still taken that damage, so it doesn't make a difference. So Foretold Protection has been used. So yes, the Wielder of the Blade didn't do anything on Tazari, much to the relief of Tazari. So knives it is then. And Creator is going to try to attack the bearer of the block. Yeah. 4 dice for Creator. Needing swords, so 1 was successful. And the bearer of the block gets 1 dice to dodge, which it does. So no damage there. And now the Headsman's Curse, last turn for them. The bearer of the block is good. Oh no, they've already attacked. Okay, so the Sharpener of the Blade, well actually, I mean the Wielder of the Blade could attack again. Which he might actually, he's just going on a bit of a rampage against Tazari. So 2 dice, needing hammers. There we go. He gets 2 dice to try and dodge with. He dodges 1, but there's more successes there, so we're going to, are we going to push him away? Yeah. Just in case he gets the first turn, so that means he has to charge him. So last turn for the knives, and Asfel is going to shoot the bearer. So 3 dice for his crossbow. Needing swords. None of them. Did he actually learn how to fire this crossbow at all? Right, so end of turn 2. No objectives have been scored, but the Headsman's Curse are currently winning 2-1. So we're going to discard cards again. We're going to discard the upgrades. 3 cards for the knives, which are 2 poison and an upgrade. And again, discarding all of the upgrades for the Headsman's Curse, and they get 4 cards. So they've got 2 ploys and 2 upgrades from that. Okay, so Trial and Execution can't go ahead anymore because the script of the sentence has been, well, I guess for Nighthaunt they've been banished. However, the prophecy can still go ahead for the Knives of the Crone. However, we don't get anything. Okay, so who's going first? Knives. Curse. It's the knives. Let's get rid of these tokens. And we are going to start off with Creator. No, we're not. We're going to start off with Tazari. He's going to charge the Sharpener of the Blade. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Tazari gets 2 dice needing hammers. And the Sharpener gets 2 dice needing dodges. Doesn't get any of them, so Tazari does 2 damage on the Sharpener of the Blade, which is all that's needed to take him out. So that's 1 glory to the Knives of the Crone. And we get to roll on the prophecy table again because that was a successful attack. And we are going to do, well, I was going to say we can use Foretold Wisdom again, but that wasn't that. That was one of those, I think. However, Tazari's already inspired. Is it just that fighter? Yeah. Tazari's already inspired. So we're going to use Foretold Slaughter instead, using the crits to turn them into swords. Next time you pick a melee weapon as part of an attack this battle round, that weapon has critical grievous for that attack. So that's pretty funky. So it's now over to the Nighthorns. And they are going to... the knives haven't taken any damage. So we might as well actually just... No, the bearer of the block is going to try to... No, the bearer of the block's not going to do anything. The wielder of the blade is going to try and take out Asphalt. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh no, he can't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, I thought he could. Okay, so no, he's not then. He's not going to do that at all. The bearer of the block is going to try and take out, well, do some damage to Asphalt. 1, 2, 3. Just ignoring Creator. He's going to try and smack this crossbowman with a Executioner's block on a chain, which makes for an interesting Morning Star. 2 dice needing hammers. Does not get it. So, speaking of attacking, Tazari can just stay where he is and attack the Order of the Blade. He doesn't need to charge. But he already charged, didn't he? Because he charged the Sharpener of the Blade. So he can't actually do anything this turn. So it's going to have to be Creator who's going to come back and attack the bearer of the block. 4 dice for her, needing swords. Wow, 2 crits. And the bearer has 1 dodge, which he doesn't get. So that's a successful attack. It's only 1 damage on the bearer, but we get to roll on the prophecy table. And that is Foretold Protection. So I get to re-roll 1 save dice next turn. Okay. Headsmen's Curse. Right, we're going to have to do something about Tazari. So he's going to charge. And attack. So 2 dice needing hammers. Tazari might be in some trouble. He's not going to die. She's not going to die, rather, but it's in trouble. Actually, that's pretty good. It's saved 1, but because there's more criticals in the save than there is in the attack is at -1 damage. So it only does 2 damage instead of 3. Doesn't mean to say though that the next attack won't do a load of damage. also, you need a charge. So, Knives of the Crone. Also, you charged. Asfel is going to... does 1 damage. Seeing as how Asfel hasn't got a charge token, Asfel is going to shoot... shoot the bearer of the block then. Might be a bit easier to take out. 3 damage, well, do damage to anyway. 3 dice needing swords. What is a crit? It does count as flanked. So we need a dodge. We get one. We can't actually push him back, even if we wanted to. But he does take another point of damage. Now, all of the Nighthaunt have charge tokens, which means they can all act normally. So the wielder of the blade is actually going to charge again. Well, he's going to move. 1, 2, 3. So give him a move token. But after that, he's not going to, he can't attack because he moved. But we're going to use a power card, Quick Shift. Pick a friendly fighter that has any move tokens, remove one of that fighter's move tokens, and then give that fighter a charge token. So, the wielder of the blade now has 2 charge tokens, which is a very unique position to be in. The Knives of the Crone can't do an awful lot now. They need to... Well... Asfel is actually going to do something a bit mad. He's going to discard... He's going to focus. Which means I can discard a power card. I'm only going to discard the 1. I can discard any number. And draw a replacement, which is a ploy, which is nice, but that immediately gives him an objective. Low on options. Score this immediately after you discard a power card if 5 or more ploy cards are in your power discard pile. Ploy cards. Have we got 5 ploy cards in here? No, we have 1. They're all... Okay, he doesn't get that objective. Damn it. But he's still going to have to do that because I've taken the card now. I haven't looked at it, but I've taken the card. Okay. Okay, that'll learn me. Read the card properly. It's no biggie. However, the wielder of the blade is now going to attack Asfel, which is going to be a biggie. Needing hammers. Flanks count because he's flanked. Asfel gets a dodge, so he's going to be taking damage anyway. Yes, he is. He's going to be taking 3 damage, which is bad for the Knives of the Crone. That's 1 for the Headsman's Curse. So, now the Knives of the Crone have all charge tokens, so they can all act normally. And it's Tazari that's going to charge again. 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets another charge token. This is coming up to the end, so we're going to have to do something drastic here. Tazari's attacking, obviously, the bearer of the block. So 2 dice needing hammers or flanks. we've got a crit. So the bearer of the block needs a dodge. He does not get it, which means the bearer of the block takes 2 wounds, which takes him out. Well, this is a very bloodthirsty round. And the knives get 2 glory for that. But of course, it's not over just yet, because the wielder of the blade is now very, very annoyed. And in fact, actually, these guys can't kill him. But he's going to charge Tazari. So in fact, he now has 3 charge tokens. And he's going to attack Tazari. Yeah, he's going to attack Tazari, needing hammers. And Tazari needs dodges, where he gets 1. So, Tazari has not been taken out. And so he's just going to turn around and attack the Wielder of the Blade for the last turn of the game. Yeah, he's going to attack the Wielder of the Blade. He's not going to be able to take him out, so there won't be any additional glory here. But yeah, we can't do anything with the power cards anyway. So, okay, attacking, needing hammers. Gets a hammer. Needing dodges. Gets some dodges. So, end phase. Checking objectives. The Knives of the Crone haven't got him. However, the Headsmen's Curse do score. They should have scored 1 immediately, actually. Best foot forward. Score this immediately after a friendly fighter's successful attack if that fighter has any charge tokens and is in enemy territory. Well, this guy did. So that's 1 for them. And then setting up this one. A blood-bathed rampager. Score this in an end phase if a friendly fighter has 2 or more charge tokens, which he does. So that's another 1. So they've now got 5. Did they get the last one? What's this last one? Score this in an end phase if all fighters have charge tokens. Well, yes, not only does he have a charge token, he also has 3 of them. So he gets that one as well. So that's an additional 3. Okay, so it looks like the Headsmen's Curse, I was thinking this might have been actually a draw, because I thought they might have only been able to get that blood-based rampager one. But it turns out they just scored all 3 of their objectives. They pulled ahead, and right at the end of the game, the Headsmen's Curse win 8 glory to 4. Wow, that was something. These guys, both of them, are very bloodthirsty. They can do some damage, and that ability, the Wielder of the Blade, when he just took out Vix in 1 hit, that was insane, quite frankly. And much needed for the Headsmen's Curse as well. But the Asfel was kind of a little bit useless, but these other 2 here, Krieta and Tazari, they very much held their own against the Nighthorns. So yeah, very impressed with the Knives of the Crone, definitely. Might not have been the best deck to use with them, but you know, I don't know the intricacies of the decks and the warbands really, so I'm still learning the synergies there. But yeah, that was a good game. But yeah, there was a lot of damage being done there. But the Nighthorns go through, which means the Knives of the Crone are eliminated. And that's that match. So, please do join me for the next round 1 match, which is going to be Kynan's Reapers versus Ethelim's Pandemonium. That'll be interesting, I'm sure. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope you'll join me for the next one. So, until then, keep on adventuring, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.